Now is one of the most talked about people of 2010, Christine O'Donnell. No single political candidate in that crazy year got more attention from the media, in part because of this unforgettable ad.
Not a witch. I'm nothing you've heard. I'm you.
I'm Not a Witch ended up defining her Delaware Senate campaign. Now O'Donnell has written a book that captures the whole experience. Troublemaker, let's do what it takes to make America great again. It is out today, and it's great to have you here. And I see you watching that ad. You shake your head again. Yet, you do something really interesting with it in the book. You basically make it the spine of the book and then play off to tell your whole life story, your experiences, your thoughts. And I know you hated the whole idea of the ad when you first heard it. So how did this all happen, and what did you learn from it?
Well,
I'm nothing you've heard.
I hated I did hate it. And as a matter of fact, during the campaign, the only time I confessed that was on Good Morning America, when Jonathan Karl came to Delaware and he asked about, did I think that was a mistake? And I said, yes, I did. But then instantly we started getting these phone calls about, it was taking us once again off message. But what I learned from that, as I very explain in the book what my thinking was, everything about the Tea Party movement is organic, and it's based on the gut reaction of everyday citizens who know common sense, and they know...
But your gut said, don't do this.
Exactly, and then now we won the primary, and everyone said, trust the experts, and we were trying to win over the NRSC because they were not getting involved, the National Republican Senatorial Campaign Committee, and this was their chosen, and that's where anyone going forward in politics needs to take a huge lesson in that, if you've gotten this far, trust your gut, trust your instincts.
So what does your gut tell you now about the Tea Party? You really symbolize the strength of the Tea Party movement early on, and they've had some policy success pushing through their agenda in Congress, but taking a real hit politically. The number of Americans who have an unfavorable view of the Tea Party has skyrocketed in the last year. How do you explain that?
Well, I think the Tea Party goes beyond Republicans, and especially in my campaign, it's Democrats, independents, and Republicans who are disenfranchised with what they see coming out of Washington.
It doesn't seem to be taking hold. More and more Americans are turning away from the Tea Party.
Well, I find something different. I mean, maybe perhaps those who have easy access to the media are saying that, but yet what I see on the ground is more and more people signing up with ChristinePAC. My campaign is a representation of that, and the fact that the budget debate and the debt crisis even got where it is, the fact that a balanced budget amendment was a litmus test, I think speaks volumes for the impact that the Tea Party is having on American politics.
A lot of people look at Michelle Bachmann running for president now and think back to you. She had this big victory over the weekend, the Iowa straw poll, but is getting all kinds of coverage, both good and bad. Remember that Newsweek cover from last week, making her look a little bit crazy at the time. What did you make of all that? Was it sexist?
Absolutely. For some reason, female candidates get treated differently than male candidates, and especially conservative female candidates. And, so that's the double whammy. And there's all kinds of theories as to why, but I think it's very clear. If you look at the treatment of Sarah Palin, Michelle Bachmann, my race, the only other person I think who experienced some of it was Hillary Clinton. But there's definitely, but certainly I would say not to the level that the conservative women have.
I also learned some things I never knew in the book. First of all, you clear up something from the campaign. You had been accused of campaign finance violations, and now there's been no further investigation of that by the Justice Department. But what I didn't know until I read the book is that you interviewed with Barbara Walters to be on The View.
That's right. That's right. I came within days of going up there and being a co-host, and it's just one of those things where, every single thing that I've done in my life, it's not all good opportunities are the right opportunities, and the details that I didn't get into in the book is just that when that opportunity presented itself, I prayed about it, is this the right thing to do? And then they called and said, we're going in another direction. So it's like, okay, TV is not my lot. And I moved back to D.C. and jumped right back into the political life.
Maybe they'll call again. The book is called Troublemaker. Christine O'Donnell, thanks very much.
Thank you, George.